About the Holy Bible is that it is sold at stores. So men who make money say, in God we trust. I'm going to get to the Holy Bible in a bit. But as long as we trust God with our money, we understand that the Bible is sold at a store. What am I talking about today? We're going to need to respect God now so we understand that God indeed does exist. I feel like preaching today. Lord, I said I start this service at 11:15. I was supposed to be at the podium at 11. I was here, and how many know I was snacking on a Snicker bar today, making it big. Just put it onto the show and call it the service. Whatever episode this is, I'll episode it later. Now making it big, put it in special, and I'm going to preach at the time period today of 11:15. As we look at the saints today, we understand that all saints of God are special. Put me in there, Mr. Hood. And if you understand what the Lord is saying, all the saints of God are special. Why? Because the rapture saints go up in one day. But after those saints go up, the saints in the Revelation, Jesus said, come to me all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. He said, if I be lifted from the earth, I will draw all men unto me. Karen Hall said it best. He said, how many know we don't look the right one today? We don't need to be praising Muhammad, Buddha, or any of these other statues that Queen Elizabeth want to talk about. How many know it's about God? And God has already had his Bible of Genesis to Revelation in the King James Version. How many know there are many versions that come out the King James? Yes, now there are the NIV versions and all these other versions of God, of his Holy Bible. But we need to respect in the Christianity religion with the King James Version. How many know you have the complete Jewish Bible? You have the Quran, as we understand with the Quran, that is looking at Ishmael and the descendants of his family. What is Ishmael's story? Today, I believe that one right there was Muhammad the prophet, but they still need to be led to Jesus Christ, as you'll find out later that that is a sight-form religion, because they must believe in the faith of God. God promised to restore the Jews. I'm preaching to you today. I can see that I'm on time now, and I'm about to start this service, doctor, at 11:15 a.m. into America. We're not going to deal with all of that today. When I look at the room of time, we're just going to preach this service. God was manifested in the flesh, justified in the spirit, preached, seen of angels, taught, preached unto the Gentiles, look at special, believed on in the world, received up into glory. Now God can finally be in his own special, because God manifested in the flesh was the toughest special ever, because he had to get to the point of being justified in the spirit. Then you can believe a little more. Now you're going to be seen of angels, preach unto the Gentiles, as God go up in special, talk to me, believe on in the world, received up into glory. Believe. The Holy Bible is made. I'm preaching of 66 books. I'm not stopping this service either. When dealing with the Bible, you're in the service now, I'm talking God. And we're trying to knock that and say the Bible was written by man. Is that the evidence for saying there was no God? But many times it is. I would need you to understand the men who wrote the Bible were ordained by God, beginning with Moses in what is known as the first five. And man indeed wrote a book about God creating man, and still tells us all scripture was given by inspiration of God. You're welcome. In just one verse, God is saying, the Bible is from me, not man, although they are the writer. If I look at God, I'm looking towards creation. As I say many times, notice in creation, God has to be his creator. The preachers are breaking down creation in chapter 1. I would like to give different sections. They brought counter arguments around it. The first section, dealing with the first verse, is broken down from number 1 to you arrive at verse number 13, while down to the 19th verse dealt with your lives. Verse 20 through 25 were a group of certain animals. If you were to tune in on 1 through 13, its argument is in the beginning. God created the heaven and the earth. This section of God's creation is being tackled today by the Big Bang Theory, a theory released in the 1920s dealing with how the universe began. When God already in 1445 through 1405 BC dealt with the beginning. If you were to look at the creation of man talked about in the 26th through 27th verse of chapter 1, all men were created equal. As God made them not to be superior to one another, as he dealt with them all at the same time. Alongside this part of the creation of God, this is the most believed theory of human creation. Humans share a common ancestor with apes. In other words, humans come from apes. Fossil records show it wasn't modern apes, it was this great ape. This is Charles Darwin, natural selection, the theory of evolution. In the early 19th century, Jean-Baptiste Lamarck, 1744 to 1829, proposed his theory of the transmutation of species, the first fully formed theory of evolution. I'm preaching. In 1858, Charles Darwin and Arthur Russell Wallace published a new evolutionary theory explained in detail on the Darwin's on the origin of species. Preach. 1859. This is a D. This is the history and the background of our origins. Follow the script. Today we are going to be dealing with the many issues that fall under creation versus what else. The proposition is trying to bring in the fact that a creator is very much valued, God is real, in this argument. So we will be dealing with three issues in this topic. The issue of heaven, the issue of earth, and finish with the issue of man. What does the existence of heaven mean? Heaven alone makes God real, which is why creation stands alone, because every other argument does not agree with heaven. Sources need to support the existence. Now, without heaven, it makes God a lie, because God created the heaven. There was no other explanation for heaven besides God. Heaven proves there was something higher than us here on earth. His rain would be an example of that, when the water drips down from on high instead of shooting up. The good thing about heaven is that it would help us explain the many languages of men. Not going in depth with the biblical story, the problem is this is a missing argument, because no other theory has explained otherwise how language originated, or brings us down to the argument of creation in dealing with who, or in some cases what, is the creator. After being created is not an issue, as the Big Bang Theory does agree with creation, is they would go and recommend that the atoms are the founding creator of the universe, which brings us into the argument of God versus Adam, is that would have to remove ape. However, the atom sides with ape because it removes God, referencing all of their sources. In whatever case you run with, a creator still stands. Dealing with the creator, we would have to bring in the missing argument of the number line. God is known as the only one that existed before creation, but they would still ask who created God. We're looking at the atoms today. There were two said to bring forth the universe, but this question is not asked using numbers to argue this topic. Before two, there had to be one, which is the missing piece in the argument. 2 verse 1 is 1 would let us know, 0 stood before it. Well, on today, we want to focus on how man was created. Man being created is unarguable, but the argument is God versus ape. As God was said to create man, and the ape was said to change into man.
Thank you.
By a form of reproduction, the ape produced man, which will go to say the ape created man. Well, the counter argument to that is God created apes on the same day, actually before he made man. But man goes to argue against that. Man has become an issue with his theories. These theories are messing with theology. Well, when arguing creation, we can never knock the fact that there is a creator. The creator of heaven is God, as these theories don't want heaven, something higher than us, to exist, because they are removing God. So now man is lost in finding the creator of earth and himself. As we deal with the issues of this topic, let us never make it an issue that the creator is indeed a part of creation's argument. On today, we will be closing the remaining portions of this origin debate. I want you to notice how both sides have bold statements, but there were missing pieces to the subject. Is evolution and Big Bang that we're trying to tackle creation or just work its way around it? In dealing with creation, there were some pieces that evolution and Big Bang that we won't discuss. Is other pieces have opposing arguments to it. First off, time is not an issue. Let us put a seal to this thing that the beginning is formally stated as the beginning. Past arguments and speeches have let us know what the opposer states. On today, I will be focusing on trying to persuade you to the truth, in my opinion, is the best solution. How many know in evolution, what can you explain? But in creation, what do you know? Simply how in evolution the theory being to change. Let me question it. Did the light and darkness divide? What I'm trying to say is they have a reason for man. They even have a reason for the coming together of the place. And let me say in evolution, there is no heaven or hell. This is just earth and life. I wonder what type of people are you to believe in an afterlife. And I'm not talking about a heaven or hell type of life, simply about the one talking about when you die and come back, what type of animal did you want to be? There were some who said, I want to be a dog. Others who said, I wanted to be a lion. Yeah, there were those folk. And some wanted that would happen. What I'm trying to say is, why would these people be listed under creation? Only because they believe that God could do it. How many know God did not under any topic, especially when God is the topic? Oh God, wonder how about an off topic? There were those who believed in karma, that what you do comes back to you. Yeah, they believed in many things, but perhaps they did not believe in our God. Oh boy, boy, let me holler at you for a minute. Regardless in what you believe on, there has to be some type of creator. That is not the problem. When I look at evolution, I see the creator would have to be those two atoms. I'm glad somebody believe in an atom. Ah, boy. But when I look at God, I see in creation, he has to be his creator. In other words, he is the maker. And with God, all things are possible. So that would just be a skill, which is a small thing of possible. Let me just say to those in the watcher, God loved you so much, you can never say that God never gave a chance. How many know when you see God, you are in perfect peace with God? There were some who seen the Son and believed so easy in God because they were seeing God. God loved you so much, he sent his only Son to die. God loved him so much, he made sure to raise him. With evolution being true, what is the Jesus case? What I'm saying is evolution tackles so many things, but it really opens a door for so many questions. The one like when the two atoms came together, how quick did it create something? What type of math did you have to use for that? With evolution being around, how did a month or a day, maybe even a week come around? Yeah, I wonder what time being here did I start before, doing, or after creation? What I'm trying to say is with the creator, there simply has to be some type of creation. In Genesis 1:1, the Bible states that in the beginning, God created the heaven and earth. But what the Bible does not do is fill in the rest of just our solar system and in what time. If I question evolution, that question would be, what did your two atoms, how create? Or how did we know there were two atoms? What did that number come from? Was that the atoms or the numbers forced? Why is there so many questions in just your beginning of this portion? Simply because God is not the author of confusion. And how many know the devil still works for God? It is man who disrespect him. The missing pieces make this argument what it is, while the argument is missing pieces of what it is attacking. However, we cannot knock the fact that this did happen in the beginning. All that railroad talk, then couldn't say nothing. Sit there with a quiet stare and blank look on your face. Let me speak just a little while longer. Could I speak a while bit longer? I thought of that phrase the other day and said, added in there. I mean, how long would you talk? Wonder if anybody in here took time to speak to y'all. Oh, I gotta say it, even if they don't want to hear. I said, I got some earphones for you to listen to music. There is a you in youth. And let me say, you can determine the youth. It is horrible to see kids love to hear the words of disrupt. But as soon as it's the word of God, they want to shut down and up. Well, let me say, you can't do both. As I sat there and spoke to the officers of America, how many know an order was set in one nation under God? There was a freedom of speech. Can we say shut up? Is this respectful as it can we say it? Well, let me just say, you can't make nobody be quiet. As soon as you try to shut down their vocal cord, that's a ticket. One nation under God, freedom of speech. Kids stood up in class to talk about God, the creator of man. How could one nation under God with the freedom of speech ever try to stop the word of God? Folk act like they got no character and definitely got no more care for others. The only character you see is the role that the actor play. We love movies and we love to act, just got no sovereign character. Folk gotta get back to doing what is right. And Hollywood is America's movie foundation, supporting everything America say is crime, as if they don't influence the youngins to grow up as a prison slave. Talk, monkey see, monkey do, and look society compare you to that animal of an ancestor, as they want you to throw your bananas too, so somebody trip and hurt themselves. Talk, act like the word caring and character if you want to. What type of character you got when nothing matters to you except the eyes you're looking out of? Yeah, you may be looking out of your eyes, but you still looking at something. Jesus died for everybody around him, but that's not why these people, that's not these people. They rather kill everybody around them and go hop in a ride yelling Black Lives Matter. Well, baby, black ain't blue or red, so why we tripping? Let me say that again with a twist so you know what I mean. Black ain't blue or red, so what color of lives matter? Blue or red don't got no skin to it, so it look like you care about your clothes. Oh God, today, since the early days of the Bible, God had commanded thou shalt not kill. But folk are rebellious, disrespectful, and definitely not obedient to the word of God. Oh Lord, I'm preaching already. Where am I on this paper today? Let me focus. Let the King talk to you right about now. If you be well and obedient, you shall eat the good of the land. But if you refuse and rebel, you shall be devoured by the sword. Since the days of Adam, God had already exampled a scene as the human race was taught disobedience would not go unnoticed, or let me say unpunished. Preach about the Bible, and how many know not too long after Noah came on through there real smooth like, and let me teach a lesson, the righteous shall be saved. Talk. Oh Jesus, by the time Abraham came along, how many know trusting in the Lord will never fail you? And then there was Egypt, a nation who's seen success in the favor of the Lord, and a nation who's seen a downfall without him. I feel like preaching today. Oh God, how many know Moses? When you walk for God, God walks for you. God walks for you. Somebody say the Red Sea. And when you think Joshua, I thought I was going to say him. Let me keep preaching now. Somebody said the Lord won't fail. I had to know what I was reading. Before we get to the book of praises, God had gave many extra reasons, even besides the creation of why we would. Women around want praise, not knowing the Creator is greater than that. I got to preach. Any man that want a hand clap, I to be able to show you 10 books of why he deserved it. God preached into the Gentile talk. Jesus sacrificed his life for you in a time period you wasn't in, and you can't love him more than anything. What's wrong with us has been put a ring on it, but how many know Christ put a price on it, or should I say a life on it? Looking at the resurrection, is it safe to say he lived his life for his friends? But when will the friends live for him? Enemies of God, this is not a game. Now tell me who can compete? Old preacher Hall would have said, pull, boom. Jesus Christ is so great, he didn't pick a friend to die for. No, baby, he dies for all the friends at the same time. How many know he didn't pick one because he has love for all his friends, as it looks the same and great? How many know we got to be Christ-like? We got to follow the example all the time.
Hey, I need you to stop, okay?
Boy.
I need you to actually stop. Sorry.
Move on a little bit longer.
Yeah.
The
It's
message
a little out of
is
hand.
called a
Sorry.
song that was slim.
So